I do want to get started today. Before we get rolling here, I want to thank our sponsor, and that is MArgex, another place for you guys to start trading. As the market heats up, this is one of the sites that you guys can, of course, involve yourself in. A couple of things that you can do with MArgex is you can get into this copy trading, which is a pretty cool feature that allows you to go in, see the leaderboard of performers within the MArgex ecosystem, and you can copy them. It's very simple to do. I'm sitting here on XRP just right now. We'll be talking about that today. Use our link down below. It's going to give you a special code. Once you're logged in, you can use the code to be able to get some discounts and some bonuses. Check it all out. You guys might like it. All right, let's get into it today. This is going to be a good one because I think we'll break down a little bit more about what's been happening with XRP. As you guys know, we showcased XPMarket a little bit yesterday and maybe on one of the other shows. So I thought, let's bring in some of the guys and the teams over there. So we got their CEO and co-founder, Artur, to come in and talk a little bit more about it. Let's break to him. Hey, Artur, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Hello, everyone.
Lots happening with XRP, the token. Were you surprised about the recent price explosion that we've seen?
So the price increase was really amazing for all the community. It's something that the whole XRP Ledger and XRP community anticipated for a long time. People were stressed for a long period, and once it finally broke out through certain levels of the resistance, we could definitely see the increase in the community. We could start to see the increase in trading activity, returning and new users. So I would say that the price appreciation is probably one of the most interesting factors to watch now because, first of all, if you're an XRP holder, that's good for you. If you're building on XRP Ledger or you're being engaged with XRP Ledger, there is a lot of stuff for you to do now because the activity is definitely going up.
Yeah, well, I think that's been the thing. I was looking at just your active traders starting to come back in right now over on XPMarket. And this, to me, I think is usually one of the signs that starts to indicate a market is starting to heat up. Back to your point, is that there's a lot of opportunity here. How many total active users right now on XPMarket?
On average, we receive around 1,000 unique active users per day on XPMarket, and these are people who actively engage in sending a transaction. So that's quite a good number. It also coincides with the release of new features, but we also see an organic growth over the time, which is driven by the general sentiment and the general network activity.
Yeah. Okay, so are you guys involved with Ripple at all, or is this a completely separate project?
It's a separate project, but Ripple Labs are our investors. They invested into the equity, so they are our partner, but we operate independently and we are building for XRP Ledger's ecosystem.
Let's talk a little bit about how your AMA or your AMM differs from some of the other blockchains. You kind of explain how you guys do your market making?
First of all, it's important to highlight that AMM on XRP Ledger is a protocol level AMM. And what you see is a UI solution, basically user interface, built specifically to interact with XRP Ledger's AMM. The beauty of XRP Ledger's AMM is that the whole liquidity is shared. It does not really matter whether you trade through us or any other platform, you will be receiving exactly the same deal, exactly the same price and number of tokens. Probably one of the most key distinctions when we talk about other blockchains and XRP Ledger is the integration of the order book DEX. So it's like a super DEX. And whenever you trade on the order book, and if there's, for example, not enough liquidity in the order book or AMM offers you a better price, your order can be fully or partially routed to the AMM. And vice versa, if you trade through AMM, some of or all of your order can go to the DEX. And this is why you are getting the best of the two worlds, because it's just being combined liquidity.
So in the liquidity pools, explain the profitability opportunity that is within that. If you look at the average AMM pool, what does that look like on XRP market or XP market?
A lot of percentages do depend on the liquidity of the pool itself. So when we talk about possible earning opportunities through the provision of the liquidity, we have to consider certain factors. One, and probably the most important, is the volume, because the more volume you have being generated through the pool, the more trading fees you generate. And these trading fees are generated across all the LP providers. Then we want to look into the size of the LP pool. The larger the pool, probably the more trustworthy it is and more stable it is.
Yeah.
Because basically the stability of the price directly correlates to the size of the pool because it can absorb larger volumes and larger amounts. And then there is a pool fee. It means that whenever you trade through the pool, you will always be deducted a certain percentage, which ranges from nearly 0 to 1. And you want to hit a perfect balance in this. Normally, I would say go probably for top 10 pools, and this is where you'll be relatively safe and have a stable user experience because there are certain risks when you do that. So the first and the most important what you're looking at is the APR. And this APR solely depends on generated fees, and it's shared across all the providers. The second element that is being built on top of that, and usually this is a platform-specific element, is yield farming. And yield farming is essentially incentivized way to ask people to provide to the liquidity pool to make it larger while rewarding them in one way or another. So for example, for XPM pool, we have around 10% base APR, which is solely generated from the trading fees, which is high already. And then we have around 50% right now while we have a promotion on top of that. So you get around 60% APR, which fluctuates.
So the amount of XRP that's sitting on the sidelines right now, you just think about the liquidity opportunity that is available for this. I mean, what's your estimates right now? Do you feel like that is a wall of liquidity that could be coming into the market?
I would say in terms of the ecosystem we are talking about, and we're talking about XRP Ledger, the size of liquidity or XRP locked in the liquidity pools is around 15 million XRP, which is quite a substantial amount compared to the market cap of the whole ecosystem.
Right.
But on XRP Ledger, we see a very interesting trend compared to other blockchains. So for example, on XRP Ledger, we see the proportion of the liquidity pool compared to the market cap of a token being significantly larger. So for example, if we take XPM token, our market cap is 5 million, but our liquidity pool is more than 1 million. So that's like 1 to 5. On other blockchains, this ratio is much smaller. And if other blockchains have like 1 to 10, that's already great. So I believe this is one of key parameters on XRP Ledger, and it really shows the power of the community, in my opinion, because essentially the liquidity is driven by the community. They are like skin in the game. They vote for a project with their own money, hence liquidity. But 15 million XRP in grand scale is not that much. Like if we start talking about XRP's price appreciation, of course, we will see some people withdrawing the liquidity and trying to trade with it or sell XRP, but 15 million is not that amount which will stop the growth of the XRP price or make a significant impact.
Yeah, I think you look at this particular scenario because XRP really doesn't have any staking, so these liquidity pools could be more important really than anything. And I would think that it's probably more important than what's happening on some of the other blockchains. Would you agree?
This is definitely a very different scenario. And as you mentioned, there is no staking, and people do definitely look at LP farming as a version of staking. Of course, it is riskier because with staking, you essentially get as much as you have placed. And the only risk probably is smart contracts and the hack of smart contracts. On XRP Ledger, it's only liquidity provision, and the risk is essentially impermanent loss. And when the XRP price goes up really, really aggressively, people will experience this impermanent loss. So they will be presented with a choice, whether they keep their liquidity in the same pool and avoid impermanent loss, because the moment you withdraw your tokens, impermanent loss becomes permanent loss. It means that you do not get as much as you have placed. But XRP, I believe, will follow the natural cycle. It will grow. Then we'll see capital rotation into the secondary tokens of the same ecosystem, and impermanent loss will balance out.
Yeah. Explain, this is something as we've been experimenting with this in understanding how this works and, some of the tool sets. Explain to me what you guys are doing around the trust lines. How does that work? What's the process?
So the trust line is a native feature of XRP Ledger's blockchain, and it is quite difficult to explain to outsiders what exactly it is. But in simple words, it's like an agreement between yourself, a user, and a token, where you say, I will accept this token either from the issuer, smart contract, which do not exist on XRP Ledger, or other users. Without these trust lines, you will not be able to receive these tokens. And it serves an important purpose. It is a spam prevention mechanism. For example, on most blockchains like Tron, Binance Chain, or really cheap blockchains, you will always be bombarded with
Yeah, lots of
airdrops,
yeah,
tokens, different
dusting.
spam. Yeah, dusting, yeah. And this is aimed specifically to either trick you into copying a wrong address and withdrawing your funds, or just a promotional element. So this protects you. And Trustline essentially one of the parameters people do try to organically grow, because it is one of those metrics which shows how much community or potential community you have.
Yeah,
And then you'll be able to understand how much of this portion you're able to translate into the holders. But also keep in mind that Trustline is also a feature which reserves to XRP whenever you set it up. Your wallet reserves to XRP, which can be then redeemed if required when deleted the Trustline.
so the minimums in the wallet right now, is it 10 XRP and then 2 to establish the trust line?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. All right, so with any plan to reduce that requirement to be able to establish a trust line?
This is something I am heavily advocating, because I personally want this number to go down. And there is an incentive in, at least in crypto Twitter, let's call it like so, and between some of the validators, we are definitely willing to reduce it, because we believe this is a significant onboarding challenge, and probably not specifically financially, because obviously if XRP price goes up, activating a wallet becomes also relatively expensive, and it also depends on your geographical location. But in essence, it is not so much financial burden rather than user experience. Very often we see people transacting on the blockchain who want to set up a trust fund, for example, or redeem an NFT, and they can't, and they don't understand why. And very often the explanation is very simple. User does not have enough XRPs in their
Yeah,
wallet.
right.
And this is because 2 XRP might sound not a lot, but if you have 20 trust lines, 100 XRPs, then it's around 50 XRP being already reserved and taken from your wallet. And reducing this number by 10 will still work as a spam prevention feature, as well as reducing this knowledge barrier and the gap. And in essence, user will not really have to educate himself to such a deep technical level, but the reserve will be so low that it will be essentially unnoticeable.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. What about, I'm looking at the token XPM here. Explain some of the benefits, the holder benefits for XPM.
So we want XPM token to be the ecosystem element, and it serves right now quite a few purposes. So first of all, it provides a token gated access to XPMarket's platform. If you hold 1000 XPM tokens, you will be able to use all the advanced features on XPMarket.
Okay.
Also, we use it as a marketing tool. For example, if someone would like to buy a marketing package, they would have to purchase the tokens and burn them. So this leads to reduction in the supply. It also serves as a reward mechanism. So whenever people are engaged with holiday season, we have like monthly events where people participate. They
Yeah.
also have to pay either in XRP or XPM. They get rewards in XPM. The same logic applies to yield farming. And we also have some interesting but slightly hidden so far features for NFTs marketplace,
Okay.
where on the NFTs marketplace, we feature NFTs by token holders. So we try to explore as much as we can. As you know, XRP Ledger has no smart contracts, so we try to be creative on how we can implement this, and we're simply exploring all the options, see what works best, what does not work, and try to distill to the best ideas.
Yeah. All right. So with no smart contracts, you look at the typical model of how meme tokens are generated and then populated. So obviously the trust lines require that, so you don't get kind of the spamming of meme coins that come out there. How do meme coin airdrops work within XP Market?
I believe meme coins is actually one of the most interesting use cases for XRP Ledger. And the reason is meme coins do not need smart contracts. They are a community building tokens around a specific topic, for example. Plus, XRP Ledger is ultra cheap to transact. And these two elements make this blockchain absolutely incredible for meme coins. The only drawback is when you would like to build an infrastructure around this. And for example, you cannot really build exactly the same mechanics as pump.fun has or for.meme with a bonding curve and all this infrastructure around. So we have to work with AMM pools. It is probably the second best feature that we can make to match the competing ecosystems inside other blockchains. Trustlines, they slightly reduce the interaction with meme coins if you're using the most popular options like Zaman wallet, Crossmark wallet, etc. Because you have first set up a trust line, you
Yeah.
have to manually sign it, and then your next transaction will be the actual purchase of the token. So it is two-phase approach. It might be not the most user-friendly at the first stage, but then it becomes seamless and quite simple.
So with that being the case, I mean, obviously the trust lines help minimize, I think, some of the security issues, I think, overall. But what about rug pulls? How do you guys minimize those?
In terms of XP Market, we try to prolong the shelf life of a meme coin from 10 to 15 minutes. This is an actual timing how long meme coins live. We have talked to traders, and traders essentially say that they're interested in a meme coin for the first 15 minutes. It being released, it pumps, then it
Interesting.
dumps, and that's it.
Yeah.
This is a natural cycle. There is not much we can do with the mentality of the trading, but we can try to shift the narrative from a short-term solution to mid/long-term solution. With XP Market, we first of all make sure that the token creator actually purchases his fair share of the tokens. He is not being rewarded for free. Those tokens come at a price of AMM price,
Yeah.
and the developer of those tokens also pays for the airdrop. Then the second security mechanism kicks in, which is vesting, where the tokens issued by the token creator are being locked for 24 hours. It means that this creator is not able to sell into the community for 24 hours. So we try to encourage in this way token developer to go and do some legwork. We want token developer to create a Twitter account because we see that tokens with Twitter account perform significantly better rather than those without a Twitter account and social presence.
Yep.
We want token creator to go and promote his creation, and we believe that by delaying these token allocations, we help to improve the quality. as well as we actually provide a advertising platform, because when you go to XPMarket, you still see the airdrops, you see the token, and it works as a ads platform. It puts your token in front of our users, and it does help to create more awareness. And if the token creator plays his cards well, he can actually benefit a lot from the infrastructure that we have created.
So, okay, so I think, you know, when I was looking at, when we were kind of breaking down the site XPMarket, we were kind of comparing to other platforms out there within the XRPL ecosystem. Magnetic is one of those. Explain to me the differences of, you know, a platform like XPMarket versus, say, Magnetic, for those of you that are out there looking at it. Maybe they're looking at participating or even creating a meme coin. Give me the rundown.
Right now we have 3 players on XRP Ledger in terms of meme coins, and this is XPMarket, First Ledger, and Magnetic.
Yeah.
I would say that we and Magnetic are probably closer in terms of the implementation, because we rely on existing wallets like Zaman wallet, Crossmark wallet, so we use already existing ecosystem. And the token creators do actually purchase their tokens through the AMM price, so they are not free. One ledger, First Ledger on the other side, they have their own wallet. It helps to simplify the trading experience. Onboarding might be another topic for discussion. But once you are being onboarded, you do not have to set up a trust line manually. So it's more seamless experience. But you have to pay a 1% transaction fee on every deal, as well as token creators do not have to purchase their token allocation. They only pay to XRP as a trust line. So we use different approaches, and they all work. It's just the different philosophy.
Right, right. Well, I think that's the thing. The good thing is that there's enough selection out here right now for people who are looking to explore this. I'm looking at your portfolio section within XPMarket. Any plans for enhancing that or improvements coming up?
XPMarket always goes through the improvements. We actually released a new update today, improving the seasons. This is where users engage with gamified experience of the DeFi, as well as refreshed farming. This is where you engage with yield farming. Portfolio also coming at some point. There are a lot of features we would like to improve. It was improved actually a month ago or so. But as a startup, we try to move really fast, we iterate, we receive user feedback directly. So we as co-founders do actually talk to our community. We receive this feedback, we see what they want. So all aspects of XPMarket are being updated at some point.
One thing I've noticed is on Magnetic, Token Thrasher is a tool. So you can, you know, remove unnecessary trust lines. Let me kind of zoom in on that. Balances, you know, etc. Is that something you guys are working on as well? Something like this that would be similar?
We have this feature integrated into our portfolio. So exactly the one which you showed just before. And it works in a way that you see all your tokens. And if your token balance is less than 1 XRP, I believe, then you will be suggested an option to trash this token, which essentially means sending these tokens back to the issuer address and burning them, and then removing a trust line. So it is directly implemented into our portfolio for better user experience.
Yeah. How long before you think we'll see, you know, popular wallets like Phantom or even Coinbase Wallet, etc., add XRP meme coins?
I believe it does not really depend on meme coins specifically, but we need to see the integration of XRP Ledger as a network. We see major wallets like Trust Wallet, and we also recently seen MetaMask integrating XRP Ledger. But Trust Wallet, for example, supports only XRP. But that's not enough if you would like to work with something like XPMarket or Magnetic. You need a full support of the ledger. We always try to engage with wallets. We are trying to be proactive. I do not know when we will see this happen. We are also happy to provide some incentives for the wallets for like launch rewards.
Okay.
If that happens, I will be really glad, and this will definitely reduce the onboarding for XRP Ledger. But I sadly do not have an answer when we will see even more wallets.
Well, I know we have a lot. We've had all the wallets on our show. I would say that are valued in the market. So hopefully you guys are out there listening, and you guys will reach out to XPMarket, get it going. What about fees? We're looking at transaction fees. Obviously, the transaction fee with XRP very, very low. Is there any potential here where we could see fees start to go up in the future?
There is one way, at least one way, how the transaction fees can go up, and this is if we see the reduction in the wallet reserve and Trustline reserve. Since we want to reduce those thresholds, it means we have to balance it out. And the best way to balance it out, so if you subtract from one side, you add on another side. And we are willing to add that side to the fees. Right now we sit at 12 drops. We are willing to increase to 200 drops, which is still really, really cheap. It is fraction of a cent, but it might make a difference. And as well, we will see much more fees being used as the blockchain is being utilized. The more people we have, the more transactions, the more fees.
All right, everybody's going to ask this question, and that is kind of the quantity versus quality variation. If you look at pump.fun, the amount of meme tokens that are being created on there, obviously they don't have to go through the process of Trustlines, et cetera. With that, do you feel that the quantity for meme tokens can win over on projects like XPMarket versus what we're seeing in the rest of the market?
With pump.fun, there is an actual statistics on how successful these tokens are. And I believe the last time I saw, it was that only 0.01% of all issued meme coins on this service actually received 1 million market cap and held there for a week. So that's a tiny, tiny amount.
Yes.
But statistically, like it's basic statistics, the more you mint, the higher chance there will be for a token to make this a success story and become a game changer. Right now on XRP Ledger, at least with XPMarket, we try to focus on quality versus quantity. First ledger goes with the quantity because it is slightly easier to mint a new token, but there is the side for both of them. So there's market for both of them, both for quality, both for quantity. I believe that traders definitely want more quantity because they operate in these short cycles. People who are not actively being engaged with the trading and they prefer to hold short-term, mid-term, they definitely go for quantity. And hence, different platforms help to tailor different interests.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel that the XRP stablecoin, the Ripple stablecoin, will affect a marketplace like this, and really just meme tokens in general on the XRP Ledger?
Good question how it will affect specifically meme coins, because most of the trading, as you probably know, happens against XRP token.
XRP,
So all pairs are essentially against XRP. And it reminds me something like 2016, 2017, where we had all trading pairs against Bitcoin. But now the pair against Bitcoin, it's still used, but it's more like a legacy system where people mostly compare how well asset performs against the Bitcoin. And most of people trade against stablecoin. I believe we will see exactly the same transition. Probably will take a bit of time while we get more adoption, while get more users and fresh money into the ledger. So we will definitely slowly see the transition from XRP pair to a RLUSD pair. We are willing to start a pool, AMM pool with XPM/RLUSD to help users navigate and start to grow this stablecoin. But I believe it is very important to have a reputable stablecoin on the ledger, because when you have one, it means you do not have to take your value off chain to transition it into a stablecoin. Now you will be able to keep your value on this exact blockchain, but in a reputable stablecoin and not ever leave it.
Yeah, SWE was able to do that here recently. Obviously, they brought on USDC, and they were in the same position in trading a lot of their meme tokens. It was obviously you had to have SWE in the wallet to do it. So I haven't necessarily been tracking to see if there's been growth on that in terms of the meme tokens, but we did see kind of a fall off in terms of activity on SWE in terms of memes. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out for you guys. What about, all right, so let's just talk about XRP as a token. Do you feel like there's enough transactions and awareness now that we're going to continue to see the price go up for the rest of the year? Do you have a price target that you want to share?
I personally maybe try not to speculate on the prices. I try to trade from time to time. I do know some technical analysis, and I was personally expecting traction to start going up after we hit around 85 cents. It's
Okay.
just one of the previous resistance levels, and it was quite attractive. And I believe that the level between 85 cents and $1.25 is where we'll start to see the first capital rotation, probably some
Yeah.
slowdown. But as soon as we hit 125 and go above that, I believe we are essentially entering somewhat price discovery. Of course, we had all-time highs, but they were ages ago. Most people already don't remember that.
Yeah,
Some charts don't have this. But I believe that we're still in the bull market and we still have potential to go up. So don't take this as a financial advice, but I believe that we are here to see more growth. And with this growth, we will definitely see more user activity. And we try to track, like as a data analytics platform, we do not just look at XRP as a price. We also try to extrapolate from the on-chain activity. And we still do not see the same levels of activity as we had, for example, in 2022, where it was just enormous. And I believe once we start hitting these levels, the price of XRP will be also somewhere higher than we are now.
Yeah, I think for most of our people watching the show, I mean, they probably don't remember, but XRP was like at $3 at one time back in 2018. You had this big bump in 2021. Obviously, that was in the early pump in that cycle, which was one of the highs, but it wasn't the top, but it was the first phase of it. And then, you know, it kind of faded out through that market, which was around November. So listen, it's very, very low still. It'll be interesting to see if XRP continues its run right now. We're definitely going to be watching it. It's one of the more popular tokens here on our channel in terms of people and listeners and viewers. So we'll continue to cover it. Artur, it's been great having you on the show. Thanks so much for stopping in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the time.
You bet. All right, you guys, if you're not in the Diamond Circle, get in that right now. It's a great place to get additional content, and you join our own club. It's very easy to join. We always leave a link down below. And of course, follow me out there on X @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.